In Medina, there was a man people passed without looking. Not because he was invisible, but because looking at him meant acknowledging something they had already learned to ignore. His name was Julaybib, a man with no strong tribe behind him, no wealth to raise his status, no appearance that made people pause. So he lived at the edge of every gathering, close enough to hear the world, far enough to never truly be part of it. When people sat in circles, he was not called closer. When names were spoken, his name rarely appeared. And when laughter spread, it rarely reached him. Over time, something quiet settled inside him. Not bitterness, not anger, just acceptance. That some people exist without being noticed. One day, the Prophet Muhammad looked at him. Not briefly, not out of habit, but with intention, as if seeing him fully for the first time. And he asked, "Would you like to get married?" The question did not match Julaybib's world. It did not belong to his reality, so there was silence. Then he answered, "Who would marry someone like me?" No complaint, no emotion, just a truth he believed had already been decided for him. Later, the beloved Prophet went to an Ansar family. They received him with honor, with hope, with expectation, because his presence always carried meaning. But when the name was mentioned, Julaybib, the atmosphere shifted. A pause, a hesitation, the kind of silence that reveals what words try to hide. They thought of reputation, of what people would say, of how society measures worth. And before the conversation could settle, their daughter stepped forward. She had heard everything. She understood what was being asked, and she said, "If the Messenger of Allah has chosen this, I will not refuse."
No hesitation, no conditions, only trust in something greater than perception. The marriage was arranged, and something subtle changed. Not in how the world saw him, but in how he now stood within it. Then came the call to battle. Men prepared. Steel was taken. Steps were quiet, but heavy with meaning. And this time, Julaybib did not remain at the edge. He moved forward, not to be seen, but because he now belonged somewhere. The battlefield was chaos, dust rising into the air, voices breaking apart, steel cutting through noise and movement. And in that chaos, a man once overlooked fought without hesitation, not seeking recognition, not seeking validation, only purpose. When the battle ended, the search began. Names were called, one after another, until the field grew quieter. The Messenger of Allah asked, "Is anyone missing?" They mentioned those they knew. Then he asked again, and silence answered. Then he said, "But I have lost Julaybib." They searched across the battlefield, through dust, through silence, through what remained. And they found him, lying beside those he had fought. A man no one called for, but Allah had honored. The beloved Prophet stood over him for a long time. Then he said, "He is from me." And then again, "And I am from him." He repeated it, not as emotion, but as truth, as belonging. as recognition that had always existed even when the world failed to see it. He was buried with care, with presence, with honor that had been absent in life, but present in death. And Medina moved forward, as cities always do. But the story remained, not as something from the past, but as a reflection. Because even today, people are still measured, still overlooked, still unseen. And the question remains unchanged. Who is still unseen today?